Welcome to Mobility Insider. I'm your host, Morten Handelsbo. As always, I'll be giving you my views on the cars that I test based on having worked 35 years in the automotive industry. And our channel is not sponsored. And today we'll be looking at these two cars. The Range Rover P510e with 510 horsepower and the new facelifted Porsche Cayenne e-hybrid with 470 horsepower. The Cayenne and the Range Rover are two vehicles that are both engineered to the highest level possible today. The quality is extremely high on both vehicles, and they can both go off-road as well, as you'd expect from an SUV. But at the same time, apart from being SUVs, both expensive, they're also quite different in many aspects. The Cayenne was built to be a sports car that can also work as an SUV. And the Range Rover was built to be an SUV with a comfort level that is the ultimate level you get in this segment. The Cayenne came in 2002, and since then it has defined the class of sporty SUVs, flexible, but still with the primary purpose of being able to go fast. The Range Rover came in 1970, and since then it has defined the luxury and comfortable SUV that can go anywhere, anytime. In terms of design, elegance and beauty, both cars are executed really well. You can't fault anyone for choosing one or the other. But what the Range Rover has, which is particular, is presence. In terms of how the two cars drive, first of all, the Cayenne is a bit like driving a sports car in the shape of an SUV. It has air suspension and is really capable. It is also very firm and very sporty, and you go into a bend, you don't have to slow down when you drive the Cayenne. On the contrary, also air suspension in the Range Rover, also very capable, but the focus here is to eliminate the bumps or the things you encounter on your way, and the car does that really well. It filters those bumps away perfectly, but the moment you get to a bend with high speed, you will have to slow down. It just cannot manage that in the same way as the Porsche can. The two cars have a similar level of horsepower, 470 horsepower for the Cayenne and 510 horsepower for the Range Rover. So they should feel more or less the same, but don't forget that the Range Rover weighs 400 kilos more than the Cayenne does. But in terms of composure, when you drive fast, the Cayenne is the better vehicle. It also drives faster. It's 254 kilometers top speed, 0 to 100 in 4.9 seconds. The Range Rover has a top speed of 242 kilometers per hour, and 0 to 100 kilometers will take you about 5.5 seconds. But driving fast in the Porsche is a much more relaxed undertaking than if you drive fast in the Range Rover. The charging of the two, at a home charger, AC, you can charge the Range Rover with 7.4 kilowatt and 11 kilowatt for the Cayenne. Both are fairly slow chargers, but what the Range Rover can do is to charge up to 50 kilowatt at a fast charger. So if you're on the road, you can stop for a coffee and charge the battery of the Range Rover. The Cayenne cannot do that. But in any case, whether you buy the Cayenne or the Range Rover or any plug-in hybrid, you want to be able to charge your car at home or at work or both. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to drive a plug-in hybrid. When we compare the in-car entertainment system of the two, you just have the feeling that Porsche has been working at this for a longer time and with more effort, because the Porsche just feels right, easy to maneuver in the menu system of the in-car entertainment, and it just is so easy to grasp how it works. Whereas the Range Rover is not as fast when you use the system, and the menu system is not as logical as in the Porsche. And I know even after some months of using it, you still are trying to figure out how it works. The Porsche is a lot better in that sense. Both cars have a decent consumption, but it does require that you charge the car so that the battery will be filled up every day. When you do that, you will have an average consumption between 4 to 5 liters of petrol over 100 kilometers. If you take the battery and the electric motor in isolation, the consumption for both cars is between 35 kilowatt hours to 45 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So you don't use the electric power for motorway driving. That doesn't make any sense because it's just as expensive in terms of fuel as if you would use the petrol engine. So when you drive a plug-in hybrid, I would recommend you always use the setting hybrid mode and you let the car do the math for you and find the optimal combination of electric power and petrol power. And actually all vehicles in this price range and class, their systems work really well. You have a seamless combination of the two powertrains when you drive. You don't even feel when it changes from petrol to electric motors and vice versa. So these cars are expensive cars, $163,350 for the Cayenne and $196,000 for the Range Rover. They both come with a good warranty, 3 years standard for the Range Rover, 1 year additionally you can buy, and the Porsche comes standard with 4 years of warranty. And I think that is a good thing because both cars are including a lot of technology and something is bound to go wrong within those 4 years. So what is my verdict after having tested the two cars? Well, first of all, they're both extremely nice cars, high quality. The level of engineering going into the cars is exceptional. The quality materials are fantastic of both cars. But there are some subtle differences. First of all, the Porsche is the sporty car, really good road holding. If you want to go fast in style, you know, on the motorway for long distance at high speed, that's the car you would choose. The Range Rover is much more about comfort. Yes, it can drive quite fast, but it doesn't feel that easy to do as you would feel in the Cayenne. It's much more about that extra level of comfort, quiet drive, and sovereign feeling of when you drive the car. If I were looking back 10 to 20 years ago, my needs were a little bit different from today. And based on that, I would back then have chosen the Cayenne. But looking at my needs today, I drive long distance. I often have phone calls in the car, and I like the space and the sovereignty of the Range Rover. Today, I would choose the Range Rover over the Cayenne, but they're both really excellent cars. Thank you for watching Mobility Insider. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you know someone who is interested in buying either the Cayenne or the Range Rover, share the video with them and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks.